Lachette, and I'm back with a new video, and this is a special one. I am a book lover and a book addict, and booktube is something I've been a fan of for a while, and talking about books is something I don't get to do very often. I want to do more of that here on my channel. So it's not going to become an official booktube only channel, but I, excuse me, with this video would like to start talking more about books. Mostly pagan, witchy, or probably fantasy and thriller books. But anyway, so this is my first booktube video, and I'm jumping in feet first by participating in WitchAthon by Rhiannon, and I'll link her original video explaining the readathon below. But basically it lasts from October 24th to the 31st, and we're supposed to read books that fill the prompts that Rhiannon gave to us, and read those books during that week period. And since, it's the last week of October, we're closing in on Halloween, it's sort of witchy themed, and which is perfect because I am a witch in the real world. So I decided to pick some books that are not all fiction, but books that were witch or witchcraft related or paganism related, as close as I could to follow the prompts. But let me just get into it. I don't have all of the books yet, even though we've started WitchAthon, or it's about to start. If I get this video up the day before, but if not, oh well. So I'll read you the prompts and then let you guys know what books I'm planning on reading. We had this goal for the year of reading books only on my to be read list, and following a challenge for that, and I'll link it in the description down below because I've forgotten the name of it right now. But I can't read anything that's come out in 2018, and I'm trying to read stuff on my to be read list, so that was also an additional requirement I added on myself to this challenge. Let us continue. Why is it? There we go. First, it says, this time of year is all about preparing for the dark and gathering enough harvest for winter. Read a book that is bound to make you warm and happy. Now, I am hopefully going to be reading Shadow of Night for that. And I read the first book, A Discovery of Witches. This is historical kind of fantasy, but also a little bit urban fantasy. I love The Discovery of Witches, which I wasn't expecting, but it was really good, and I really want to read the next book, and that fits in with this theme for WitchAthon. I know I'm gonna like it. It might not make me feel warm and fuzzy the entire time. Actually, I doubt it will, but it'll definitely make me happy to be reading that book. I just have to go and get it. So the second prompt is, light a candle for your ancestors and read by candlelight. This is a time for honoring our kin. Now, so this is not a reading, a book prompt, but I have tons of candles. I have a candle right here. Another candle right here. I've got candles here and here, here and here and here, and a whole shelf that I'll show you now. I might do though is make a or decorate a specific candle for my ancestors, and I'm thinking I'll probably read the book for prompt number 5 by candlelight. So we'll see, but maybe I'll just read them all by candlelight, whatever works for me, right? Awesome. Prompt number 3. Samhain is more widely known as Halloween. Read a spooky horror or thriller novel. Okay, so I am not a person who really reads horror. I've read some pretty dark stuff, but I guess it's more psychological than anything. I do like thrillers, of course. So that wasn't too hard. But on my to be read list, I've started this, the complete works of Sherlock Holmes. And it's got everything written by Arthur Conan Doyle, the original author of Sherlock Holmes, the creator of the character. And so I started, I think, 2 years ago. I made my way about halfway through it, but I haven't read in about a year because I kind of got sick of reading so much Sherlock Holmes. So to fulfill this task, I'm going to read I'm going to read The Hounds of Baskerville, and I know the story, but I haven't read the original, and that will be towards my to be read list. The Sherlock Holmes has been sitting in my currently reading shelf on Goodreads for a long time now. Alright, so next prompt, number 4. The veil between worlds is thinnest. Read a book that has paranormal elements. Well, I don't have a problem finding any books for that because usually that's what I read. So, I plan, now Shadow of Night could definitely fulfill this, and if I don't find the time, because I have work and stuff, and sleep, I will just slot that right in to fulfill that. But if I do have the time, this is a nonfiction book. It's called Faces of the Soul, and I had, just because it's October and I am a witch that does work with spirit guides, I'd like to read a little bit more about it, and I came across this book actually this month, and during a WitchAthon, during the same time period, I had planned on creating sort of costumes and drawings, potentially masks, that mimic what my animal spirit guides look like, and to have them on my altar, to take pictures of myself. That would be my costume. So I would have a mirror, I guess, on my altar as well, and kind of be able to speak with my spirit guides. And this book definitely delves into that, into working with spirit guides, working with spirit, and with creating masks. And I thought, oh, that's a great idea. That could fit with in the paranormal category for WitchAthon too. So that's a book. I don't know if I'm going to finish that because it's not fiction, and it's kind of instructional. So it's not meant to be like read all in one go, but we'll see how it goes, how I like it. I don't know. And I have my backup, of course, just in case. Now, prompt number 6. Every witch needs her coven. Buddy read a book. I admit I didn't really try too hard. I was gonna not do this one, but I thought, oh, well, doesn't prompt number 7 count as a buddy read? I've never buddy read anything with anybody. I think I've attempted a couple of times with my mother, but she doesn't read as quickly as I do. Um, she doesn't read as much as I do. Whatever. Uh, so that brings me to prompt number 7. Read the group book, and that is The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. And it's a middle grade book, which, guys, I'm in my 30s. It's been a while. But it sounds really interesting, and it's a book about a witch who a town sacrifices their children to, or a child to, every year, and it turns out she doesn't actually eat the children or do anything bad to them, but she feeds them starlight and then sends them off into a better home. And one of the children she actually feeds moonlight. They gain supernatural powers, and then the story unfolds because there's like a hunter. The synopsis really reminds me of this mix of fairy tales. Like the entrance of the hunter makes me think about Little Red Riding Hood. So we'll see how that goes. I know I'm pretty sure I'm gonna enjoy that, and I'll finish that. So yeah, that is my first. This is my first WitchTube, my first booktube video, and I thank you for watching. I've been enjoying seeing other people's to be read videos, so hopefully this will be the beginning of some booktube every once in a while. Let me know if you've read or are planning on reading any of the books I mentioned down below, and I will see you guys. I'm going to try to do like a recap video of all the books I read for this, and or maybe a vlog. I don't know. Never done that before either, so we'll see how it goes. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hey guys, you're probably wondering, hey, Lachette, you forgot a prompt. Number 5, to be exact. I do know my numbers and I do know how to count. Just feeling a little out of the weather, or under the weather when I was filming this. So, really quick, prompt number 5 is, in honor of your ancestors, read a book that features your ethnic heritage. And the book I will be reading for that is The People Could Fly. It's a kind of anthology, I believe, of African and African American folk tales. And mythology, folk tales are kind of the bedrock or part of the foundation of any witchcraft practice. So particularly if you are a pagan who or a witch who has deities and that kind of thing in your practice, but also for magical purposes. And I've never read this book, but I've heard about it, and it's on my to-be-read list, so it fits all the requirements. So that is the book I'm going to read. And now the video is over. I'll see you guys on the other side. Thanks for watching. Bye.